Every once in a while you get invited to a shared plate meal, like a flat potluck or a barbecue for example. But what happens if you're in a situation like I was, where you can't really cook or bake and you don't want to be the guy that goes out and buys something and brings that along? Well, I've got a simple recipe for an easy dessert that works amazingly. It's called the Gingernut Log. For those of you who don't have ginger nuts in your country, firstly, that sucks. But secondly, they are a spiced, hard biscuit designed to be dunked in tea before eating. So if you have a biscuit in your country that has those elements, where it's a lightly spicy biscuit that's really, really hard, that's designed to be dunked in a tea. Biscuit, not cookie, by the way. Cookies have chocolate in them that are super nice. These are just straight up. These are like, I guess Americans would call them crackers almost. They're not. They're biscuits. You dunk them in tea. They're awesome. You just have ginger nuts. For this recipe, you'll need a pack of ginger nuts, obviously. You'll need some orange juice, you'll need some cream, and you'll need some garnishes. Today I've gone for Whittaker's dark chocolate and mandarins. There's an optional extra of alcohol. I've gone for a Wild Turkey bourbon. You can use pretty much anything, but also you don't have to use alcohol at all. This recipe is super easy because it doesn't actually require that much time hands-on. It does need to sit in the fridge for a little bit, but we'll get to that. Basically, it's going to be determined by whether or not you have access to an electric egg beater or just an acoustic whisk. Because the first step is to whip the cream. If you have a whisk, this is going to take some real muscle work and it's going to take you a while. If you have an electric beater, just fire it on. It'll figure it out. The next step is to pour equal parts alcohol and juice into a bowl, if you're including alcohol. Otherwise, fire the juice into the bowl. All we've got to do now is dunk the ginger nuts into the liquid. Doesn't have to be long, we're not soaking it, we're just dunking it, getting it wet, and then placing it on a plate. We then want to get the whipped cream and cover the top of the biscuit to stick on the next dunked ginger nut. The process here is basically making a cream sandwich between two dunked ginger nuts, but we're going to do that for an entire packet. Once you have a small stack, about 3 or 4 biscuits will work, you can rotate it from being upright to sideways, and then we complete the process of dunking biscuits, putting on cream, sticking them together until you have a complete log. When the bowl starts to run out of liquid, top it up with only juice. This creates a nice sliding effect where you have a boozy end and a non-boozy end, so you can please everyone. Once you've run out of ginger nuts, or in my case run out of plate, take the remaining whipped cream and coat the whole thing. Try your best to cover the bits of biscuit that are showing, but it's not super important. This thing is designed to look ugly. If you have any leftover juice mixture, get your fanciest glass and pour it into it. It makes a fine cocktail. Bourbon juice and ginger. Excellent. Once you've covered the log in cream, now you need to garnish it. Garnish it however you like. I'm going for mandarin slices down the middle and grated chocolate on top. Once you've completed that, that's the hands-on portion done. All you need to do is fire it into a fridge for a few hours and it should be good to go. The marinade time depends on how long you've dunked the biscuit for, and it's kind of hard to balance. The general rule of thumb is if the event's the evening, say it's a dinner, make it the morning of, and if it's a lunchtime thing, make it the night before. You want the biscuits to retain some firmness, you don't want it to be super soggy, but you do want it to be edible with a spoon, so don't serve it immediately. Let it sit for a little while and get a little bit more soft before serving. Here's my completed project. I think it looks awesome. I can't wait to taste it. When cutting to serve, you want to find the space between the ginger nuts. It may take you some time to find that spot, then it should glide straight through. Serve it on a plate. Make sure that you get the garnishes on it, and it should work wonderful. So let's try it. Perfect. Still crunchy in the middle, soft on the outside, great flavors. Mandarin was awesome. Perfect. Can't go wrong. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's awesome. So there you have it. If you can't cook or bake, you can still make a dessert. You don't have to be an expert chef to be able to bring something along. And that's the whole point. And this has been the James Bond principle.